All right. Aloha and welcome to Lucy's Paradise podcast. Today I have Korpz, the host of the Smoking Section podcast. What's up, man?
What is up? What is up? Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on yours. I was like, I can't wait until we can switch and then you can come on mine. And yeah, I just wanted to learn a little bit more about you and kind of go into like the dance and stuff like that. So yeah, tell us a little bit about you, like where you grew up.
Yeah. So name is Korpz. Yeah, I also go by the dance moniker Monster Beast, which I'm a part of the Beast Camp dance crew. Um, I was born in Fairfax, Virginia. I grew up sometime in North Carolina before making my way here to Cali. Been doing most of my dancing here since about 2009-ish. 2009, 2010 is kind of when it took off. I
That's a
did everything.
long time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, you get into the high school athletics, right? And by the time you hit junior year, you're like, am I going to do this in college?
Mm.
Football really wasn't in the cards, neither was basketball. Um, Wrestling was fun, but dancing did something to me that when I started doing it, it was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And there was a cool college path for that. There was a lot of big competitions, a lot of cool performances and like tours and, bookings with this agency and that agency. And so a lot of it was really, really tempting. And so
Mm.
I just stuck with it ever since.
So what got you like to like started? Like how did you know like you liked it? You just you went to like a they had like a club or something at school?
Um, so I come from a really small rural Native American community in North Carolina. Shout out Pembroke, North Carolina. We had a skating rink, and Fridays that was the place to be. And like the last hour that the place would be open, they would let everybody go out there and dance. My sister was really good. My sister was a really, really, really good dancer. Um, and then I realized like, oh, this is cool. Like people actually like people who know how to dance. Like they enjoy that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Figured out about shows like Showtime at the Apollo. And then that's when it was like, okay, I think I can learn how to do it. So we were doing like the Soldier Boy, if I can lean with it, rock with it. We were doing all of that at the skating rink. 2000 summer of 2008. I saw Jabberwockies on TV. Um, and it was just cool. It was just so cool. And I still think dancers are the coolest people in the world, but it was just so cool. Like,
It is super cool. It's super cool when you their body is like mimicking almost the lyrics or the beat of the song. Like it's really
mhm,
neat. I watch a lot of those videos on Instagram where there's like a little circle and like two people will come out or whatever.
mhm.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
I grew up watching my brother dance professional ballet. My brother and my
Wow.
sister. I mean, they can do like hip hop and stuff too, but um, I'm so used to watching like classical dancers, you know. So it's
Mhm.
all really neat what people can do with their bodies.
Yeah, and the classical styles too, like it was much later. They were cool, right? And I appreciated the art behind them, especially when I was first starting, but they didn't resonate.
Yeah,
And then now that I'm older and my body's slowing down a little bit, they resonate with me now, and I appreciate it on a whole different level. But yeah, I think those are I think those are things that should be probably be requirements for a lot of athletes, right? Like football players and basketball players, like ballet classes. Your
mm.
coordination, footwork, flexibility, um, and just like working the different ideas of mobility at levels. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot. I dancing for me does a lot. It's a lot.
That's good though. Yeah, that's I like dancing, like out, you know, like at the club and stuff.
Oh, that's my favorite. I
Yeah,
love watching it. You'll never catch me dancing at a club, but I will watch.
I could tell which people are actually good at dancing because they're the ones that are like, I don't want to. They're like, I just want to be humble, whatever. And I'm like, dude, I know you can dance. I'm just,
It's like I'm just trying to be chill right now. I'm just trying to be chill. Yeah. Yeah, my friends are always like, "Come on, man!" Like, especially my non-dancer buddies, they're always like, "Come on, man, just one song, man, please, bro, please." Like, no,
That's
thank you.
so funny. That's cool that they appreciate it like that. That they're trying to like, they want to like show you off. They're like, look what my friend can do.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, that's my friend.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
that's so funny.
oh my god. Yeah. I mean, dancing has. uh, I mean, so many of my friends know me now for doing like the podcast and the clothes, but dancing was really like the avenue for all of it. Um, you know, the clothes was, oh, what would look cool on stage, like in these lights with to this music, and like what if we cut the shirt right there and painted something right here? Like that would be cool, right? And so there was the whole birth of like fashion. And then the podcasting was, of course, I just knew so many dancers and I was like, dude, let's talk about some stuff, because I feel like dancers come through so many different avenues
Mhm.
that there's always like just really cool like really cool damn stories to hear about because they just come from different walks.
Yeah. It's cool to know too, like in different areas how people dance differently,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is interesting. Like I mean, obviously I grew up here in Hawaii. So now we have a country bar out here. And when I went there, everyone's like line dancing. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So like to me, it's like completely new or like different. But it's cool to watch because it's like everyone's like knows what everyone's doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to learn that, but I just make it up and I just go out there anyway.
Yeah, there's actually shout out my boy Pono. There's a dude, my guy Pono is actually out in Honolulu or in Maui.
Oh,
He's teaching Crump and trying to bring Crump out to Hawaii. Um Actually talks about the Hawaii dance movement quite frequently. So um yeah, you guys are known. You guys are actually really known about by the US like mainlanders.
yeah.
Um yeah, because like of all the events and stuff that people would throw, nothing just really got to Hawaii like that. And I remember a lot of us back in the day were like, dude, wouldn't that be like the best place for like the world championships, bro? Like, let's take a vacation to Hawaii. We'll be out there for a week and enjoy the dancing and enjoy the culture, like, because I'm like, I've kind of started to even get into the point with dancing where like I really want to start traveling and seeing different like cultural dances and
Yeah.
see how people operate, like how you were saying, like, because everywhere people dance differently. So like
Yeah. That would be
go,
cool.
go all the way down to the roots and then hit like their local bars and see how people are moving there and see the line dancing that they might have out there. I think that would just be rad.
Yeah, you could do like you could do like a travel daily vlog and
Mm-hmm.
go travel to whatever new place and then you could like share it with people like, oh, this is what I learned or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a point where I was traveling with work a lot and it was like every 2 nights I was hitting up different group pages of like, hey, where's the local session? Hey, where's your local session? Hey, where and I was able to stop and kind of dabble into that. And that's where the idea kind of came from. Cause it was awesome to like meet people, new faces every night and dance and express with them. It was cool.
So you teach dance also, right?
Yes, I do. Um,
That's cool.
yeah, I've done everything from one-on-ones to where I had our team at the biggest point was something like 54 dancers or something of like it was like 54 or 53 dancers. So everything from the small groups to large like troops. Um, yeah, yeah,
That's cool.
done that for a long time too. So
That's cool. Well, what is it like coordinating all that?
um
Like kind of like a sports team?
Yeah. So, matter of fact, we were talking about this on the podcast the other day. Was I wouldn't want to be my son's coach, um, because I coach hard, and I know him. I would coach even harder because he's my son, and he wouldn't be able to escape that. Um, but like a day at practice was walking in, stretch and warm up. Then we were doing like 100 burpees, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. We would get about 20
So
minutes.
like one of my normal workouts then.
Yeah, every day. This is every day. And this is something I would do with the middle schoolers had it easier, but this was mostly high school kids. High school, and then the adults had it worse. But the high school kids, those were my babies. They were the funnest age. The middle schoolers were my project, who I directed more hands-on. The high schoolers, we were allowed to kind of let them kind of come up with their own creations, while me and the other staff would, we would create for them as well, but also guide them in the creating process, so
Makes
that they would
sense.
start to understand how to put together a routine. Like, oh, hey, so and so is going to be on this side of the stage at this point in the music. You have them here now, so you need to figure out how they're going to get from point A to point B, because that's already set. That's set in stone. So you're figuring it out. Yeah, and then the adults, of course, it's just fall in, dude, and let's get to business.
Do you ever have like a dance routine like in your dream or whatever that you like have come up with, and then you're like, oh, I should try that, and then you like the next time you go practice or whatever, you like try to do it, or like has that ever happened to you?
So I wouldn't say like in a dream, but there's been things where we sat down and we like it would be me and like three people, right? And we're just sitting there and we're talking about some stuff, and it's like, hey, like, what if we did a routine about this? It's like, that's pretty cool. Well, what about if we did a routine about this, but then with this?
Like collaborating.
Yeah, and the next thing, it hits a certain point, and it's like, hey guys, I gotta go. Where are you going? I just thought of a song. I gotta go. Like, I gotta go. And it just all so started happening. Like, you're walking through this routine. We're even talking about what we're gonna wear. Oh, and then this middle song needs to be this, and then we're gonna add this in the middle. And it's like, yeah, for sure. Like, oh, that'd be a perfect song for right there. And the next thing, you're like, yeah, that would sound cool right there. And you know what? There's that one verse I really like right there. Like, yeah, I gotta go. I'm about to go lab this out. And there was so many moments like that with all of us, where you would just see them take off. Like, oh, you're about to go choreograph? Like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow, dude. Peace out. A lot. That happens a lot of times.
It like sparked that inspiration.
Yeah. Who was it? I think it was Rick Rubin that was saying like these ideas are fleeting, and that if I'm not going to be the one to create it, then it's just going to pass through to the next person who is ready to create it at that moment. And so when it strikes, I try to just go. Like, I gotta go. Like, peace out, y'all. I got a lab. Sorry.
How do you like remember all of the dance moves in your repertoire? Like, you know what I mean? Because like dancing is different than like making a song, because when you make a song, you're like creating the song and then it's there. But like if I thought of like a bunch of dance moves and I like kind of worked it out, figured, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, like you have to just memorize it, right? Is that
Yeah,
you
after
can't
a
like
point.
draw it out, you know? Like,
Well, after a point, I mean, oh my god, I've watched the way that people come up with like the formation, right? So like when you're dealing with 20 people on a stage, you'll have a certain formation.
mm-hmm.
And I've watched people as they're drawing out this formation and where everyone is, and you see these different formations, and around it is written out the count, the lyric, the beat, the instrument on this huge board. Like, it was a work of art.
Like when the piano starts or like when the horn
Yeah,
starts. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
musical count. We're at 4E and they are moving to point boom 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 on lyric XYZ da 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 da. Like whoa, like it was like a whole written out like playbook, like literally like a play, like written
Yeah.
out. And so even with songwriting, right? Like it kind of start you like you have to kind of take it to the top to where when somebody's sitting down and they got their guitar or they have a beat and they start feeling whatever motion they have, somebody might come up with maybe three bars at a time, and they practice that rap, and then they're moving on to the next part, and then they're practicing that, and then they move on to the next part, and then before you know it, you have a whole song with the hook and everything else. And so yeah, making a piece of choreography isn't like a piece of dance choreography, for me at least, isn't so much different. I just start with what I'm feeling, right? I get a few moves in, like, oh, that feels good. Let me make sure I remember that. Boom, boom, boom. And then as I'm kind of committing that to my muscle memory, I'm also trying to see, well, what feels good coming out of this? Like next, what's next? What feels good? What rhymes well here? What, just like a rapper would, like, what sounds good? What, maybe I do a little ad lib thing here or a little this, that, there. And then creation happens, and then you just
Right.
memorize it. Yeah, you just memorize it after that.
Is there any like dance shows you like to watch or anything, or not really?
Not as much anymore. Um, America's Best Dance Crew, I will always say, is probably one of the best. I've gotten to meet people who did like So You Think You Can Dance and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you learned about like that whole thing, and it's like, I'm cool, all right. Like, still a phenomenal one. If I could ever personally, like my personal ones that I like to watch, there's a group called FCD Crump. They're on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, and they cover the Crump community, like specifically. But they've done better nowadays of with their events. Like I think they're going to be at the Red Bull event,
Oh,
which is
cool.
like my next like favorite thing to watch. Those two are working together a lot these days. Red Bull does a lot of the like what we would call like the all styles scenes. So you get like the popping, locking, whacking,
Interesting
breaking.
that Red Bull is involved in that.
I don't like it, but they're doing the best
They're
work.
like, do this dance routine and then skydive. So
Yeah.
I got like what everyone's battling with a camera on them or something.
Well, they were doing exclusively for a long time breaking, just breaking.
Oh,
And then they included, breaking versus this, breaking versus that.
I
Um,
see, I see, I see.
and then there's another group. So them, I will say Red Bull because they're here doing it mainly in the U.S. But then there's a group out in France called Fusion Concept, and what sucks is that they're not like TV shows, but I hope that they never become one because they're so community based. Like the one especially out in France, all my European buddies show up. They all figure out the 50-60 euros that they got to pay to fly there or take the train there, and they're there. They make sure to pop out to that. So I appreciate that one a lot.
That's cool. Do they like record it?
Yeah, Fusion records. I think they host most of their stuff on YouTube. FCD Crump, they're the best. Like they have like I don't know how many people on their team at one time, but they are recording not only live, but they're recording for their YouTube, Twitch, Instagrams, everything. Like all the big events, they're so dope because they do all the big events and then the after sessions they'll record again. So it's like, dude, we're getting all of it. Like I don't even need to go to the event at this point. Like I'm living through them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, my my niece one time was like, trying to ask me if she should go to the Taylor Swift concert. And then we were going back and forth about it. I was like, oh, well, like figure out how much it costs, figure out, your work schedule, blah, blah, blah. And then like 2 days later, I was like, hey, did you decide if you're going to go? And she was like, bro, somebody was at her concert on live in the front row. And she was like, and I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm good. And I'm like, there you go. You saved thousands of dollars probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of one of the things I've been battling with too, because it is so convenient just to kind of like, oh, I can catch the live feed, it's no problem. But come on, man, I need to be there. I like the
Yeah, it's different to go in person at least once to say that you did it,
Yeah, especially for me personally, like there has been such a, how do I put it? Like there's such a deep connection that I have with being there in that moment. Like, especially now that like my little brodies are getting into the style now. And they're going to the big sessions and they're going to the spots where we all danced and battled and carry a name. And it's just, there's something about watching them and being there with them when they hit like those moments of like transcension. Like I don't know how else to put it, but they hit that level up, like, and that's why like I've really been trying to do better this year about being at events and making sure I'm supporting the local sessions, and because I love seeing people like have those breakthroughs. There you go, like have a breakthrough.
Yeah. Or seeing them like, yeah, just get better and like kind of evolve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the Olympic breakdancer from Australia?
Oh, a lot of us got together and talked about that one, and it was I think it was almost like you can't be for real. Like my thing is because I got buddies who are out there from Australia and they're really well in the community. And and he kind of explained to me how it all went down with how she ended up out there.
Oh.
And allegedly,
Right.
Allegedly, so there was more of a, some connections got her there type of ordeal. Now, the problem is out of all the people, my friend, that was the one, like that was your representative. That was the person that got plucked to use on the grand stage of them all. Yeah, maybe we just need to do better as a community, right? Like, who cares if she has connections? Who cares if, she knew somebody on the committee board? Who cares? She should still be good. That's still the problem. She should still be of a higher caliber than that. Because there was people who didn't get selected for USA where I was like, whoa, like there's really good, really young dancers. But yeah, that lady, I think if I remember, I heard her dance names were like Ray Gun. Yeah, I felt bad because I mean the memes went on for weeks. It was just like, dude, come on, leave her alone. It's enough.
My friend got the Halloween costume and like put it on in my house and was like doing this whole thing. Like I have it on video and I was like, and I'm just cracking up the whole time. And it's like the best video on my phone. But I was like, damn, that's funny, dude.
Yeah, it was so like, and it's so bad because there was so many eyes on it. It's not only that you whiffed, like this was just a whiff of a performance, but it was the first time breaking's up there. All eyes are on it, and that was it. That was the one. You were the one that bombed, and damn.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. So like they clearly have different standards of what good breaking is in Australia, right?
Nope.
They don't.
So
Okay.
so the alleged story was that she is a professor in masters and has a master's in dance out in Australia. And her husband is a part of the Olympic committee that was in charge of selecting dancers from Australia to represent breakdancing. And that's how she found her way there, allegedly.
Interesting.
A lot of people have said that along the way as well from Australia. Um, at worst, that I've heard was that she still had some kind of either the husband's on the committee itself or is working for the people who are a part of the committee. So there was like some nepotism going on. Because there is such high quality breakdancers from Australia. Like Red Bull, that's why Red Bull, it was almost a win for it to suck at the Olympics. Because Red Bull, I feel like, still maintains the highest criteria of judging, you know. And
Interesting.
which to your question, right? Like, do they have a different criteria? No, the Olympics just don't know what they're doing. Like, why? Because I was even asking, like, who knows this guy? Like, who's the who's the committee? Like, we're the community. How do they have the committee but not be tapped in with anybody in the community? Like, those are my questions. Like, who checked in and even got to that, or did they just scroll through TikTok and just stumble? Like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way that happened for them to represent the country. I was like, there's no way.
That's wild.
So Red Bull, if you want, if anybody who watches, if you want to see good breakdancing, Red Bull has really good breakdancing going on right now.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. Tell me about your pod. What you got any goals for the podcast, or
we've been
like?
So the smoking section, is actually, I'm in conversations with these guys about finding it a permanent home, where we're trying to do a, more than just bringing people in and sitting down and just like having a pod. But I'm also wanting to try to start bringing in some people who are like lecturers on certain topics.
Ooh.
And kind of expanding that way. I also do the Usual Tuesday podcast, all on the same channel. Yeah, and me and those dudes just steaming right along. I mean, that the clips that we get from that has been wild. Like, there's been stuff that they send us. So I've been telling the boys, like, hey, we need to kind of chill out a little bit. We're getting a little rowdy out here, but it's been fun. And we're almost at 2 years of recording on that one. So it's been fun. It's just, I think the biggest goal, other than this whole like having a home to operate in, is I feel like a lot of podcasts are kind of getting lost in the sauce with, like, they got to be politically charged, or they got to be pushing a certain movement or something, right? Like, there's something, like they're backing something up, and I don't want to get. I'm just trying to make sure I stay out of that mix. I've never minded people coming and talking about policies, or like, again, I want to have lecturers, people who can sit and talk about this stuff. But I feel like because of the way that podcasts are being used, right, which I think is beneficial, by politicians and stuff and getting their message out. I feel like a lot of podcasters kind of got put into like baskets, so I'm trying to stay out the baskets. I don't want to be, he said this wing or that wing or this one. Like, no, I'm just me. I'm just
you want to keep it like free form, more like a free form. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
stay
could see
loose.
that.
I want to stay
Yeah.
loose. My goal is just to stay loose with these guys.
Yeah, not to be like capped,
Yeah,
or yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think through as time passes, I try to remind myself to like keep the main thing the main thing. And so like that is, I feel like that's always been the main thing from the beginning. Like that's always been the goal. Stay loose, talk to whoever I want, let them come and say what they need to say or what I feel might be important. But stay loose. Don't let them pin you down in any one direction.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, it would be cool to have your other buddies and all of us on, because just to discuss different stuff. I had some like male perspective questions. I don't know if you watch I think it's called the Whatever podcast or whatever, and he'll do like a round table with a bunch of OnlyFans models, and they'll
Yes.
basically argue with each other.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know how I even started watching that shit. I'm gonna be honest. I probably saw like a short and I clicked on it and thought it was funny, or one of the guy's wives like went on and started talking shit to one of the OnlyFans models. I probably thought that was funny or something, but I wanted to get kind of a male perspective and thoughts, and I'm gonna have a couple other of my guy friends on it in the near future too, and we're gonna talk about this stuff too. But how do guys see like girls that have OnlyFans, or like I don't, I mean, I know everyone's different too, and some people don't give a shit, but I'm just curious, kind of your thoughts, and like if you had the option of dating somebody that had one or didn't have an OnlyFans, would you like, which one do you think you would pick over the other, and why?
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that has been a huge discussion, right? Especially since COVID, like the uptick of what we saw of models that hit the internet. Um I think a lot of guys, right? And I think a lot of guys it's very knee jerk, right, when they first hear that word. Um because OnlyFan models comes in a wide array of images, right, and videos. Um, I think if a guy has it within himself, who can date a girl who might, you know, sport a bra and panties on the internet, or a swimsuit, or this or that, I don't think it's so far out of the realm of somebody being comfortable, right? Because how much different is it than an Instagram feed these days, or a Twitter feed, right? These days. Um, Now, if we're having an issue that they're collecting money from it, like I think there's just a lot of logic that's got to be worked through. So somebody like me,
I'm talking about like, I'm not talking about like someone that just posts images, right? And they have like, oh, here's a subscription. You can see like photos of me in a bikini. Like I'm talking about the
full blown.
hardcore fans girls that are like basically selling porn on there.
I think
Yeah,
that's
so it's
pretty
not
much.
really, it's not a gray area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think with when we go is when, because that is only where I go, right? That's where I draw the line for myself personally, and I think most dudes would do that as well. I I I think the bigger issue that guys are kind of coming into smashing with, right? Where it's like, for me, I could just say the words out loud, right? And it's not a problem for me. I'm not cool with it. Like I wouldn't be cool with my partner, whether they're new videos, old videos, right? Or even videos of us. Like, whoa, why are we doing all that, baby? Right? Maybe videos of us, we can have a discussion, right? Like we could talk about it. But of you and an ex-boyfriend or an ex thing, or you're going and doing that today, like you're
Yeah,
going
yeah, yeah.
today,
Today.
like today, like you're doing that to like right now, like, oh honey, I just got home from work, like, get the fuck away from me, go shower, Like, no, I can't do that. I think the problem and the only reason why this is even a conversation, because there's not enough dudes like that'll just say the words out loud. I'm not cool with it. Don't want it. I'm not cool with it. It's just, we get hit with a lot. I think there's a lot of dancing around the answer because dudes don't want to get wrapped up in well, you're this and it's our body or it's that. And they don't want to get wrapped up in that, trying to defend their point when they're getting hit with that, because it's got nothing to do with your body. It's got nothing to do with your rights. My decision is quite frankly not factored on none of that. Like, I don't want to open up my phone one day on
Well,
Twitter.
I just think about like if I'm dating somebody or like in a relationship with them, and that my nephews could have access to that.
Yeah.
If they pay $12.99 or whatever the fuck, you know, like it doesn't feel like there's anything special or sacred or whatever. Like everyone can see everything. So it's, I don't know. That's kind of my take on it.
There's a part even in me where, you know, if you're going to date a beautiful woman or a handsome man, there is a line of like bullshit that you got to deal with, right? Like, just based off of nature, right? Like, if I'm dating a beautiful woman, and I know she's beautiful and I think she's wonderful, when we're walking down the street, whether she's fully clothed or not, she's going to catch some looks, right? And that's going to test me as a man in a certain way. Now, the more you unravel that, the more it's going to test me as a man.
I love what you're unraveling.
Like, quite like, because
yeah.
I don't think people enough really look at it that way. It's like my love, Yes, it's just a picture. I get it. And you're just putting it on the internet, but somebody's going to see it. And I know that it's there. And so the test of my patience, or who I'm supposed to be as your protector, provider, and all these other hats I got to wear, like, it's just a lot. Like, even if people, I think it's a big issue, and it's another.
So it's like a big pressure for you.
Yeah, I think there's just too much pressure on the brain. Too much. Love is supposed to be relieving in my mind. In my mind, love is supposed to be very liberating and relieving, not liberating, not like
causing you stress,
not causing me stress, or he's looking at his phone and he just looked at me. Ah, shit, he must have seen. Like, no, I don't need that. I don't.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And I think you kind of hit it, and I feel like a lot of people like dancing around it too. I just feel as if there's just no sacred left in anything. There's no tradition or like hallowedness to any acts nowadays. And I mean, I'm not the best example, right? I've had children and not married. And I feel and it's funny to even say that, because I feel like almost to a sense we got to this point because people like me, I turn around and say, hey man, I don't think this is the best idea, right? Not valuing like our bodies and this and that. And they say, well, look at what you did. It's like, well, yeah, but aren't we supposed to like learn from our mistakes and not like keep repeating them type of thing? But
yeah.
that's kind of where like that cutoff happens. And I feel like there's still not enough conversation surrounding it. Like, and I'm not telling everybody to be celibate for their lives, but like, let's kind of keep things under wraps.
Yeah.
You know, figuratively and metaphorically.
Right. So do you see, like, if you meet a girl and you, let's just say, you know, hypothetically, you're like, okay, yeah, she's really cool, you're digging her or whatever, and then you find out she does have this hardcore OnlyFans, does that in your mind kind of like, do you think that she's like devalued a little bit because of that? Like, obviously you're not going to want to be in a relationship with her now, but is that kind of where your mind goes? Like, you're like, ugh, like,
I wouldn't say devalued. I wouldn't say that I value that person any less. But they just don't fit in my life that way. because I could still be friends with you.
So, what is your definition of a high valued woman?
Wow, that's a good one. A to me, when I hear the words, that is a high valued woman, I immediately think, right, healthy, right, and well respectful, right, just like a man, right, healthy and very, very respectful. It's very odd to hear these podcasts like the Fresh and Fit and whatever's and these guys who say you're not a high value woman, because every man is going to be just so slightly different of what brings them value, right? So for me, somebody who's going to help bring some peace into my household, right? So, well, how do they bring peace? They're going to have a certain level of emotional intelligence for themselves. They're going to have a certain level of communication, right? For me, they're going to have a certain level personally. See, and this is where, for me personally, they have to have some kind of relationship with something above them, right? More and more, I've been reading a Bible, right? So I'm working on that one. But for me, right, for other people, they don't need that, and that's okay. But for me, that's kind of where it starts. After that, it's just how do they handle their responsibilities, right? There are some beautiful young women who are 32 years old who have no kids, no bills, right? Got a fucking trust fund check coming, right? And their house is thrashed. I know the other chicks got 2 kids. Both the baby daddies are out the picture. They're working 3 jobs, and you could eat food off their floors. Kids are well dressed and well groomed. Fuck, her nails are done. Bra and panties are matching. This is wonderful. What's high value? Like my friend. So does she handle her responsibilities well? That to me is another, right? And then how do they treat the people around them, right? Like, because it's one thing to be respectful to someone, right? Because I can be respectful to anybody in this place, right? But am I going to treat somebody who has never treated me well? Am I going to treat them well, right? If they've never had nothing but bad to say to me, will I have nothing but good to say about them? Because I could be respectful and not say shit, right? And just keep my mouth closed, bro. Or am I going to be like, hey, man, like, oh, this guy talks shit about me. Hey, bud, love your podcast, bro. You're doing real good work out there, man. I'm gonna make sure to share your work tonight and actually do it. Actually share the work. Yeah. I feel like these.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I feel like
I like that.
The high value woman or high value man has a very odd like connotation behind it, which is like, oh, dog. You don't. You might be a little off with that one, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't think Onlyfans devalues them, right? Yeah. Because again, I've met a lot of strippers, hung out with a lot of strippers, and you talk with them and you figure out like these are real people, like they're really real people, and they're really like paying their own bills with this money, and they take care of their own family with this money. So I just don't agree with their job. Their job doesn't fit my life. I can't handle, where being a dancer or podcaster might not fit for their life. Then that's okay. It doesn't make me a low value man though.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I've never dated a girl with an OnlyFans. Well, but I have dated some strippers for sure. And with one of them, the only reason it really didn't work out was like, we couldn't, there was no depth. Like we couldn't get deep. We would have a conversation, right? And I might be like, oh yeah, tell me about like when you grew up or something, right? Like simple question I just asked you on the podcast and you were able to answer, give me like a little bio, whatever. She couldn't do that. She literally would be like, you tell me about when you grew up. It was fucking weird. I was like, dude, I don't know shit about you. Like you won't tell. It got to the point where I was like frustrated. I was like, hey, like this isn't gonna work if I can never get to know anything about you that's deeper than like how the fuck your day was today. You know, like I'm glad your day was great. You did X, Y, and Z. And then I found out she was lying about her age.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, bro, why though?
Oh,
So I can't stand when people lie to me. But
yeah.
like to make me think that you're something for like weeks, no.
That's almost in that. Like there's a certain, I feel like a certain stereotype that goes with like a lot of different professions, right? I think personally, right, people in any kind of service industry are, borderline pathological liars. They can sit here and take somebody's order on their menu. Oh, yes, Mr. Robertson. Yes, that's a great pick. I'll get that right up for you. Turn around and be like, motherfucker, I fucking hate that son of a bitch. Like, and just, and then strippers, they're your girlfriend for the night. For sure. 100%, bro. They love you. I would tell the guys all the time, like, Doc, stop giving her your money. Why, bro? Don't you see, like, we connect? Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You know what that's called? A good employee, bro. Stop. Like, just sit down, fool.
Yeah.
Like, it's time to go home, homie. Like, stop. Bartenders. Everyone falls in love with the bartender. Gotta love the bartender because they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job, right? And that's their. So for me,
They're like salespeople, basically.
Salespeople.
It's just a different sale. It's a different sell. Yeah. They're selling the fun environment. Oh, come here, have a drink.
Mm-hmm.
You're John. You're regular. How's your, Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's a scam. Everything's a scam. No.
And so it's hard for me to date people who are especially entrenched in those positions. I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how she was. Like there was no genuineness. It was like always a facade. So I was like, okay, I know your real age. I obviously know your real name, but like that's it. Like I might as well go to the fucking strip club and have you tell me the same shit that you would be telling me while we're on a date. Like it almost it's not special. The only special thing was like one night she like cooked me like a really nice dinner and like invited me over, whatever. But I'm like, this is great, but it's pointless if I can't get to know anything about you.
Mm-hmm.
If the whole time you're gonna just like ask me questions about me and I ask a question about you, you just put it back on me. And I'm like, I could talk all night. I have a podcast. Clearly I don't shut up. I'm like, but I'm not here to get to know me,
Mm-hmm.
So it was very one-sided and I was like, can't do it. And then she had some like Instagram like depression posts and I was like, yo, are you okay? And then it was just all bad. I was like, all right, I gotta let this person go. They were being woe is me and like, I'm just gonna get drunk and fuck whoever. And I was like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, no, that's bad bargains. This is bad. And I can see where, I can see where people could even allude to the idea that like those type of jobs attract a certain type of person, but it's, I don't want to ever get into the psychology of that because we're all one bad day. We're
the psychology.
There's too much numbers and too many fucking polls and surveys and dog. We're all one bad day. We're all one bad decision away from working that job at fucking McDonald's, bro. Like we're all one bad fucking flat tire, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm not judging.
Yeah, the whole no, it's just this whole thing where I feel like yes, there is a certain level of person who will literally wake up and be like, you know what, I'm gonna be a fucking stripper today, and hats off to you. There's other people who get attracted to it like a moth in the light, and I think that is worth studying. But that's just
I could never even be like a server. Like I'm so not the personality to take someone's order. Like no, I have to be the CEO. I can't be like, what do you want? Okay. And then like fake that I'm like nice to someone who's arrogant. I can't do that.
There was a certain love I had behind serving tables where I was just able to be a dick enough. Just enough and just nice enough to where it was always that goal to make an angry customer happy.
You can't really dock the tip, but you could still like make them wait extra long for the water.
You heard what I just said, didn't you, Mr. Robertson? You heard that, motherfucker? Yeah, I'm like, I'll be right back. Don't worry, I got you. I know that one would piss people off. I got you. Don't worry. What do you mean? Don't worry. Don't worry, I got you. It was fun.
Yeah,
I mean, like
I like
big
to be
banquet
I like
parties.
to be served at the restaurant.
Hmm.
I don't serve.
Yeah, that was like first job vibes too. And it was like one of the first jobs I had, and I had it for a while. But working in the restaurants, um, that was fun. That was like the next closest thing to dancing for a long time. Like fun, having fun and doing something. Working in the kitchen was nuts. It was a circus every day.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, just the orders, like the hecticness of orders flying in, and then we're all yelling at each other, and oh, somebody get the fucking cabbage, and then they're running, getting the cabbage, and coming back. I don't know, all on a
There
Friday night.
That's funny. Yeah, there's this spot that I like to go to, and I mean, their food's mediocre at best. People really just go there for the karaoke and the drinks, but they'll have some busy nights, and sometimes they have some really bad singers that show up,
Ooh.
and so like I'll get a text, and it's because I know some of the girls that work there, and then I'll end up coming out there and I'll show up and they're just like, thank you, please take the fucking mic. And I'm like, oh, I got you. So like, because they're working in this environment and
Mm-hmm.
these people are on vacation here in Hawaii and they want to sing and they can't. And these poor girls are like serving food all day, like, oh my God. So I was like, what song you want me to sing for you, girl? Like, and they're
Yeah, I
like, yes,
got
Lucy's here. They're like, thank
you.
God. I'm like, I got you. I'm gonna write my name down 5 times and give these girls a good rest of their shift. But yeah, it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe over there.
Yeah, restaurant living, and just like karaoke nights there and stuff was always a vibe. Yeah, I definitely enjoy my time being served these days at the restaurants instead of serving people. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not a jerk though at all by any means. Like, um, and it's not just like for fear, like they'll do something. It's just like, no, just why are you gonna come to someone's work and be an asshole? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like people that are so rude to other people, like and that goes back to kind of what you were saying. You were like, oh, you want to see how someone that you might like date, like how they treat other people. Like that's a huge one for me. I
Hmm.
did date somebody at one point and I remember like they were so rude to like restaurant employees. I don't remember the exact scenario, but I remember scolding him and I'm being like, dude, don't treat people like that. And
Hmm.
like secondly, don't do that in front of me. Like do that shit on your own time. But like what the fuck's your problem? And he was like, oh, I'll never see them again. And I'm like, but why would you assume that you would never see them again? I'm like,
Yeah.
that karma is going to be, you're going to have an interaction like that. And you're going to walk into that job interview and it's going to be the fucking guy that's interviewing you. I'm like, that's
Yep.
your karma, bro.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't, I'm always nice to like people when I order and like shit like that. Like, yeah, you'll never catch me. If I'm in a bad mood, I won't even leave my house. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, there has been maybe a handful of times, and I've went out with guys. I mean, we're 10, 12 dudes deep. We've been drinking a little bit, maybe once or twice, where it's ever been like, hey buddy, hey dog, let me talk to you about what's on this receipt. Like, like, hey, what is that? Well, what is this? Or like, hey guys, we're waiting on the round of drinks. These guys are getting a little antsy. Can you guys help us out? Like, been very, very few times, because I won't go out with people like that. I don't trust it. I Be nice to the fucking servers, guys. Tipping them, whatever. You got a couple bucks in your pocket, you don't have a lot, whatever. That's going to be one thing. But don't be an asshole and stiff them for no reason. Like, put what you
mhm.
can down, whatever. You're a little broke, it's all right, bro. Like, I got you on drinks at the bar. Don't trip. Um, yeah, but be nice. Like, yeah, we were saying that on the podcast before too. Was like, I think the way that people treat their servers, right, or the busboys and stuff, is like a huge tell. It's a
Yeah.
huge tell. Your behavior at a restaurant. It's a huge tell of how far this is going to go. How far we're going to
Right.
go in this relationship. Um, yeah, because
Yeah,
that
totally.
sucks.
Yeah. You should treat the server exactly, if not better than like some fucking famous singer or something that you're stoked to run into? Like, why are you treating them any different? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a real cool Korean barbecue joint that we have here, and
Ooh,
love it. Right. Matter of
I
fact,
did.
these.
I just went last night.
Oh
I-
God. I mean, I could just. If I could eat it every day, I would. I swear, I'm a connoisseur. Oh yeah, but we were. I was having a little date night there, and me and my girlfriend. She's having her a blast. We're talking with the manager. He was one of our old friends. And so our server finally comes around, and we could tell he's a little like oh no,
On
I was like,
edge. Oh, maybe it was busy. Was it busy?
we're talking with the manager, and we know the dude. Like he literally stopped. He's asking about the kids. Oh, how you guys been? I've known the dude since high school. Woo woo woo.
Oh, I
And
see.
we're
I see.
just catching up, just normal.
Yeah. I
The
see.
homeboy came sweating. Like, oh no, what's wrong? Because I mean, he did take a little bit to get to the table, but I'm not tripping. I'm not even.
Yeah.
Oh guys, oh did Darvin take your order? No, we're good. Oh, are you guys like, buddy? Slow down. Like, slow down. It's all right. Yes, I know Arvin. Yes, we come here a lot. Don't trip. I want a Sprite. She wants this. You ready to take our food? Yeah. All right, man. Just slow down, dog. You're gonna get a good tip. Like, just
Yeah.
bring her drink though. That's gonna be your determining factor, bro. Bring her drink. Like
That's
right now.
funny.
Yeah, that's it. I want maybe two things. I'm not, because I've served tables where they need the ranch, the ketchup, the chili flakes, the peppers, the this, the that, the that. I know, bro. Just bring me my rice bowl. Bring me some radish wraps. We're gonna be fine. Keep those things on deck. We're gonna be just fine. You're gonna get a fat tip.
My dog needed some attention.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a Chihuahua Shih Tzu Terrier.
Wow, what a mix! Beautiful. We have 5. We have 5 dogs here at my house.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and we also run a dog sitting business here. So there'll be like
wow.
8. 8 is usually the max we'll have right here at the house. Yeah, two golden doodles. We have a Shih Tzu, a Husky, and then Jedediah is a Great Dane mix, but he's like,
ooh, I love Great Danes.
he's huge, fucking massive.
I always said if I ever bought a mansion, I'm buying a Great Dane to watch it.
Yeah, they're like, especially as puppies, they're just so huge and like loppy. So they're just fucking awesome dogs with huge floppy ears, and they drool, and they're just good. They're good dogs.
Yeah, they don't live very long though, right? The big dogs don't live very long.
Yeah, I think they're usually like around 6 years of age.
Damn, that's like not a lot of time. That's crazy.
Now, they had one of the family friends had a miniature Doberman who lived to like, I think 14 or 15 years old. So quite like twice the age.
Wow.
But yeah, and those dogs too, from what I've always heard, like those miniatures, because they're like bred that way type of
Right.
thing,
Yeah.
that they run into a lot of issues like health wise.
Really?
So for them to be hitting that, for that one to be hitting that age is impressive.
Wow. Everyone here is obsessed with Frenchies, and like I don't understand it because they're like the most non-athletic dog.
They don't give like a very Hawaiian vibe either. Like I wouldn't think that'd be like a Hawaiian wanted.
It's real popular here. Like everyone loves them. And I think it's because they are lazier, or like they get tired fast or whatever. My friend has one though that's like a fucking crackhead. So her dog's like the opposite of that. But I can't wrap my head around. I was like, I can never not have an athletic dog. Like that makes no sense. Like my dog can't do sprints with me. What? Like I don't know. At least for me, it doesn't make sense. But Nobu loves sprints, so he's in the ocean and all that.
Yeah, the last dog that I claimed as my own, like my dog, she was half husky, half pit bull, and she was such a freak where you take the leash off and she knew no leash on. But the moment she heard that thing click, it was like yanking hard.
Oh.
And it got to the point where she had dislocated my girlfriend's wrist at one point
Oh my God.
from the yank. And so,
Ooh.
we changed the chain on her. We tried the muzzle. We tried this. We tried that. And then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, it's a prong. We got to go prong collar. And I'm not doing the prong collar, dog. She's already half pit bull. I'm not giving her no reason to become aggressive. Not doing it to her. And so I seen some dude smashing down a hill one day on a skateboard with a dog. And that's when I realized, oh, I just need to put her on the board. And so, yeah, that was our thing. I mean, going for 2-hour runs. I should go for about
That's a good alternative.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, instead of fighting it, you're like, screw it, you're gonna pull me down this hill, baby.
Yeah. Oh, and the bike, for whatever reason, she had freaked the fuck out. But the board, I mean, she would just know. She would just know.
I think it's like too much mechanical shit going on with the bike.
Yeah.
The board's just simple.
And
there's too much metal or something,
Yeah, my poor baby she's not the smartest puppy either. So I think it's just like too much shiny
machinery. Yeah. That's funny.
Fucking freaking out. But the board, the board, God. And we live by the beach here, so it's always a good time, taking a nice ride down there, and she's just pulling and just wearing herself out.
That's good. So before we end, you got any dance advice for anyone who wants to get better or wants to get into it?
Dance advice for anybody who wants to get better or wants to get into it. So for those who would want to pursue dancing, I would encourage you very much so to find a style that interests you. And if you can't find one, explore several. It's going to feel strange, but that's where you start. And I'm also going to offer that same advice to my more seasoned dancers. All of our expansions begins at exploration. So a lot of dancers I see these days and that I've noticed who are hitting a certain level, we're having an issue being weird again. We're having an issue feeling strange again. It's easy to become very comfortable in your dancing body, but stay strange. Just like the guys who are just stepping in for the first time, it's going to feel so weird. It's going to feel strange. It's supposed to. It's actually supposed to feel exactly that way. Once we become comfortable, it's time to change again. So, yeah, stay strange.
That.
Yeah, stay strange, stay weird.
Stay strange. All right, Korpz. Thank you so much for coming on Lucy's Paradise podcast. Guys, please like and subscribe and follow Korpz. I'll put all your stuff in the description. Thank you. Aloha.
Thank you.